Were you armed when working there?
Absolutely, yes. But you could keep your vest on underneath. Easy going night. Now all of a sudden, here we go. 15 minutes to closing. Now here come the BS. Sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty. It happens a lot. A lot. A lot.
This is Guard Guy's first inaugural interview. I'm interviewing somebody who guarded Backroom gambling spot for cash and also did unlicensed bouncing at clubs. His identity has been hidden for his safety. Here's what he told me. For the purposes of this interview, we're going to be calling him Jay. How you doing, Jay?
I'm all right.
All right, so I'm sure the audience wants us to get straight into it. So we're going to start with the most juicy part of what you've told me before, the gambling and underground security. So when it came to the gambling spot, how did that work get presented to you? Was it openly described, or did they just like, hey, come over here and take a look and see if you want to do that? Was it more secretive?
Well, nothing is really openly described. It's a if you know type thing and a friend of a friend type thing. You know, I guess doing security, you know all types of people on
Mm-hmm.
both sides of the fence. So, but still, uh, I want to say, money is money, and and security is security. So, I got introduced and also a job is a job, and it was presented to me, and some place needed some securing, and yeah, I accepted.
Yeah, you were available. Okay. So what were you actually expected to do like on a normal, let's call it shift at that place? Like were they like here, sit at the desk, watch the door, or handle problems when they come up?
So all of the above, and of course you go a little bit extra, but mainly was really watching the cameras and unruly customers, because sometimes you have some people that get upset, they lose some money, and and then they have to go. But also you could do it in I want to say a discreet manner. It's really not discreet, because when you have these unruly customers, they tend to get loud and belligerent, and the object is um to get them out of the establishment. If they acting unruly and belligerent, they have to go.
So tell me something, like did working around that kind of place like feel a little off? Like was the energy more tense, secretive, or was it just like another gig to
No,
you?
to me it was another gig, but it just added a different side, just a different side of it. But securing is securing. But and plus, what I want to say, with certain types of establishment, this type of establishment were older people, you could say, and it was if you know somebody, you had to know somebody to get in there. This wasn't like an open door policy. It's like a membership only type thing.
Got you. So since you were sitting there at the door and watching the cameras, I assume you were the one that buzzed people in as they approached, or did they have somebody at the door?
No, absolutely. Sometimes you can have two people. You have one person that's really keeping the eye on the camera, and also, um, people did get patted down, search their bags and stuff like that.
Oh, got
Uh,
you.
hmm So sometimes a person might tag along with a family member, just because a family member said they're all right. Well, we don't happen to know this said person actually coming in there. So, they get searched with a wand or what have you, and about that nature. They just really get searched.
Got you. So when it comes to determining who's granted access or not, did you have some kind of like member list, or was there somebody in the
Um,
background like, yeah, he's good, buzz him in?
yeah, so that's not off the spectrum because you just don't know everyone, and you'd be like, sometimes in certain cases, you know, a person might say, "Oh, I've been here before, but I haven't been here in a while," and be like, "Hey, I kind of don't recognize you." Then you go to such and such, "Hey, do you recognize this person here?" And they get the okay.
Okay, got you. So there is a verification process in place, and in case somebody unfamiliar just goes up to the door like, "Hey, let me in. I want a game."
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, were you armed when working there? Like,
No,
even if they didn't tell you to bring something, did you for your own protection like bring a
no,
little something? No?
no. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So
But
did yeah, yeah, go
there,
ahead.
there, there was other people there that was.
Oh.
So what should I say? You have some people that's really with the security. They have their licenses and stuff like that. But at the same time, it was suggested not to wear uniforms there. You can dress up in your regular clothes there.
Oh, okay.
hmm
So yeah, go ahead.
because it was suggested to wear your regular clothes because at the time, if you there was a thing, if you really had your security tech and vest on and things of that nature, um, you need a plausible deniability.
Oh,
I would say
got
that.
you. So if something happened, you at least looked like you were legitimate security at a legitimate establishment.
Um, it was suggested not to wear those type of things. You could wear. It was suggested to wear plain clothes, but you could keep your vest on underneath.
Oh, got you, got you. Okay. Okay.
hmm
So look, people see the movies and they think that that's based on the real world. So like, were you ever threatened that if you spoke about the operation, something would happen to you, or was it just
Um,
understood? I assume it was just understood that nobody's talking about nothing.
right. That I will say that. It's even like that in real security jobs, different types of security establishments. You talk about the inner workings of anything you do. A job is a job. And saying like some jobs run smoothly and some don't. You know.
So like, did you ever think that like if the police show up, you're the guy standing at the door, or you're the guy at the front desk, so
So
you're gonna be the first one they grab?
but that's the reason of not wearing security issue clothing. You are suggested to wear your regular clothes. You know, first of all, they need a warrant to come inside of there. And you are suggested to say that this is a part. I don't want to say party. This is a family planned event that we're hosting. That's the suggestions
Oh, I
that
got you. So they
that's
gave
being
you,
said.
uh-huh.
Um, I was told this through other people. This is what to say. You know, in order for them to gain entry, they need a warrant.
Got you.
You are not suggested to let them in. Now, if by some reason the fire department comes, I was also told those are the ones that are 100% you have to let them in.
Got you. So you got like kind of a script of what to do if this authority shows up or that authority shows
Mm-hmm.
up. Got you
Right,
to protect the operation.
right, right.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, I'm glad you answered that because that was one of my follow-ups. Did anyone ever tell you what to say if the police or somebody came? But no, thanks for answering.
Because I guess you don't you don't want to totally be held accountable for certain stuff, uh, that's going on.
If you work security, are trying to get licensed, or just want better tools for the job, check out my Etsy and guardguides.com pages. I've got study guides, exam prep, templates, report writing tools, resume help, and other digital resources made specifically for security guards. Links are in the description. Got you. Just for personal defense or survival, if that situation were to ever occur, you got some plausible deniability for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's like the sketchiest situation that you saw, like that stood out from the others? Because I know you got at least a few stories.
Um, I wouldn't say that. For the most part, it it was easy peasy. It was easy going. Um, for the most part, but like I said, and then on the other side of things, you do get people that's belligerent and try to damage the property, and those are the people that you got to get up out of there. And now, there was also a detail helping the customers out to their car and making sure they get to their cars safely because sometimes said people can win money in these establishments and you never know who's sitting around. Sometimes it could be a family. Like I said, you get people that bring family members in and that don't abide by the rules, or you get other people in there that just lost all their money, and you see the next person went in and they'll call somebody up, hey, or text someone you're not really gonna know, and be like, hey, such and such just hit, come through. You know.
Or such and such just won all my money. We need to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Okay, that's
Right.
interesting, man.
Or somebody just hit the jackpot and come through.
So as
Mm-hmm.
I understand it, like with,
Now,
with with spots like that, you probably more worried about like some insider thing trying to rob you, like some
so
insider.
now that was always an issue that I have, but there are armed people inside at the same time, because that to me that was always an issue. You know, that can't happen if there was a group of serious people that came through and wanted to do whatever. That can happen. I don't want to say it can't, but of course things like that can happen.
Okay. Give
But
me yeah.
it hasn't happened since I was there.
Give me an example of one of those times like where somebody was belligerent or acting crazy and you had to get them out of there.
Uh, it happens a lot. You know, one, you can't bring no alcohol in there, but some people come in there ahead of time. They could be already nice, and then I guess the alcohol kick in, whatever, you know, and you like, really have to be playing the games really at all times if you want to stay, you know, and I, for the most part, stay maybe about 5, 6 times. Like, hey, buddy, you gotta go. You know, I grant people certain courtesies. You get mad, you lose your money, but when it comes to start banging on the machines and stuff like that, you gotta go. You really only have to grab someone up maybe once or twice and have to get them up out of there. hmm And you watch the cameras and make sure that they leave off the lot and the premises. And also so they're not a danger to the other customers, because we was also providing that security that for the other customers too.
Got you. Got you. I'm more impressed. I mean, I know it's maybe not let's say above board operation, but they really thought it through with the cameras, with the additional security, with the escorts. They
Well,
went they
I I
understood.
I think more of that probably. Sometimes you could go above and beyond, but uh, you you will run it. This is how it should be ran. I think it more had to do with the security, because there's been other security people. They hire other people that's there, and they won't do the same type of job. They won't.
So you mentioned that if they were banging on the machines and stuff, my idea, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers and audience idea of a place like that is probably like a backroom crap table, but they actually had machines
Uh,
set up. Can you describe the games they had there?
Regular slot. Well, everything is digital and computerized now.
Oh, got you. So they had like the digital slot machines like that you would actually like see at the casino where you're just slapping the button and feeding it money.
Um, yes.
Oh, okay. But I assume they also had like card games. Did they have like a dice game or was
No,
it mostly the
no,
machines?
no, no. They see, I personally think that creates a different type of problem. They don't have that there, which is a good thing. It's not that type of backroom thing, but I'm 100% sure there are other places that have just that. It wasn't that type of ghetto type thing. It wasn't that, but they do have those places.
So if you're willing to share, and I'm sure the audience is itching for the answer, like was there like a schedule with that? Was it like there were games on every Friday,
Uh,
Saturday, or they would just call you up
um,
like, "Hey Jay, come through. We need you for the desk."
for the it was every day.
Oh, okay. So
It was every day.
I'm guessing like evening time, 5 to 9 or something like that
No,
later.
this thing usually it runs from 11 a.m. all the way till 10 p.m., 11 p.m. at night.
And you were like you were there the whole time when you came in for
Yes.
oh, okay. Okay, got you. So to follow up with that, like how much were they paying you? I assume it wasn't per
I
hour, it
can't.
was probably per game or per day.
Yes, per day.
Can you can you share
And
how
and
much it
and I and I
was?
can't and I can't comment on that part right there. Because with other people, there's a lot of flexibility in negotiation against said prices and according to the job you're doing and the task at hand. Those type of things uh, varies.
Got you. But look, let me try to tease a little something out, just because I know people are curious. Like, could you say, like, was it enough for you to like take care of, your normal bills and stuff, or did you need something to supplement it? People could kind of get an idea without you saying the number. Was it
Um,
enough for you to
um,
do what you needed to do?
see that the answer will be kind of broad because everyone has. Needs. But what I will say this, an extra, it depends, an extra 250 plus a day, 250 plus a day plus tips, um, stuff like that, is it will be okay. And just think about it if you're going at it every day.
Okay, okay. Sounds like it was somewhat lucrative, but I'm sure with all the risks involved, y'all made sure you at least got your money's worth considering the risks.
Um, well, there's always a risk with security. There's always a risk, you know. But for I think you guys stay vigilant and knowing that something can happen at all times. And if you don't think that, you're going at a naive perspective. Something can happen at all times.
How did that gambling spot security gig end? Did you leave on your own? Did they just stop calling you? Or was
Um,
there a specific moment where you were like, nah, I'm done with this?
no. Eventually, uh, word got leaked about said place, and because there's always a point where customers are mad. Give my money back. This place is illegal anyway. Stuff like that, and you get people that get irate and upset. You know,
And then to like get
and
back, they leaked it.
of course,
So like looking back, would you say it was actually worth the risk if it wasn't for that situation happening? Do you think you'd be signing up for extra shifts, so to speak, if it was still open?
Of course, but and just keep in mind, all spots are not the same. This one was, I do want to say minimum, but still, you can't treat it as such because if somebody really wanted to do something, it can happen. And I guess that's just my perspective of going at it. It-
All right, Jay, that was some interesting information on the gambling part, but we're gonna move over to the cash bouncer questions. Like I know you told me you do some bouncing for like a local club or lounge type situation. So how did you first get offered that kind of work, like at that club or lounge or whatever? Was it
it-
also
it-
through I knew somebody that knew somebody, or
yes, absolutely, yes.
did you have any like any reluctance to do it? Like I'm sure you've been to clubs and you know the issues there where you like, okay, now I'm gonna be the guy having to get these drunks out of here.
so,
Cause before you
so
were just on looking like, yeah, bouncer, get them out of here, and you kept dancing. But now you are the guy that's grabbing these people.
for the most part, it's always, you would have to say you wouldn't do it. It's always about the money. I would say that. What's the reason why a person does take a job? Because you need the money.
So, like at the time, did you think of it as security work, bouncing, or it's just like you said, I just needed the quick cash. They knew somebody, they needed
So,
somebody.
absolutely, that's exactly how it started. So, at first, you like, my thing was like, dang, I can't wait till this thing is over with. I want to go home. That's it. That was my thing. And now I'm into it. Like, well, I've been doing it for about 2 years. So, going on 2 years. So you kind of get into the groove of things, and it just becomes a job. Yeah, let me just go ahead in here and let it happen and get up out of there.
So did you understand that there could be like licensing or legal issues?
Um,
Because
so I'm on a different perspective about that. I think each state has its different guidelines and and things about it. Because they do see. Here's the thing: when you're inside, it's different, and when you're outside, because the outside people are able to carry. And first of all, when you're inside of a club, there are absolutely not supposed to be no guns, weapons, or knives of that nature. Or you cannot even have sprays, and you cannot have those stun guns neither. It's not suggested.
oh, okay. But so did you said there's inside and outside. Were you like
You
specifically
got you have
assigned to both,
you
or did you
no
rotate between them?
emergency purposes is in case they needed someone outside as a fill-in, but for a temporary thing, nothing more than uh, I wouldn't say no longer than a half an hour. Just to assist along with the armed security team. Yes,
So the armed security team was outside, and sometimes they would need you to help them out there, like just
yes,
just as a presence.
absolutely that right there.
Got you. Okay, but you guys inside, you guys were unarmed.
Right. Is the whole team that's inside that's unarmed. And this is the part where you really have to get in and use your muscles and because there are situations where things can go awry. It's not just one person fighting, it could be up to 10, 20 people fighting.
And there were two of you
Um no,
inside.
absolutely. Now, there has been situations where it was just two of us when it should have been a team of minimum five. but for the most part, it's roughly around 10 people.
Oh, it's 10 of you. Okay, so you guys were rolling deep in there. If you needed the cavalry, everybody's coming and y'all breaking it up or getting them out of there.
Right.
Was there any explanation of like what your limits were? Because as you explained it, it was like a cash in
Um,
hand deal. So they had to like there were liability issues for the club. If you or one of the other guys that were cash in hand overdid it, then that's liability for the club owner.
um, I would say yes, but this particular team, I'm not going to say, of course things happen, but at the same time, not with this particular team.
Oh, okay. So I'm
At
assuming, yeah.
least, at least when I was on duty, not with this particular team. Now, there are people I've heard in the past that went above and beyond. Yes.
So just FYI, and I know you said you see it in a different light, but I'm not gonna name the state for privacy reasons, but the state that you're doing it in does in fact require
Mm,
registration for security guards. Now, whether y'all did that or not, that's kind of on your
um,
own,
they
but technically,
they are registered. There is a registered team. Yes, those are the ones that hold the guns. That's mainly outside. Yes,
but inside you guys were unarmed and unregistered.
I won't say everyone
But some of you were
because
definitely
because
cashing.
because
Mhm.
because the whole thing is probably cash. So here's the thing: you're working as part of the team. So at the same time, you have some people that can carry arms, and that's part of the team that's needed on the inside, and you're totally gun in your issue gun in the car, what have you, and you work on the inside. So for the most part, people are registered to work as a registered license to work with the security team.
If you work security, are trying to get licensed, or just want better tools for the job, check out my Etsy and guardguides.com pages. I've got study guides, exam prep, templates, report writing tools, resume help, and other digital resources made specifically for security guards. Links are in the description. But there were definitely guys like yourself that were like cash in hand, knew a guy who knew a guy, let's go in and get it done.
Well, I would say sure, probably.
Okay, yeah. So given the what we know about the context of the establishment and the work you were doing, I assume the answer is no. But like there weren't any written rules or post orders or anything like that. I assume everything was verbal or there were rules posted in the club and you're like when you point something out to somebody, "Hey, you're breaking that rule, you got to go." We're going to start off from that last part because we had some technical difficulties. You said that I think we left off at you saying that there were people inside and some of you guys were outside, but there were rules posted, and every now and then you had to remind people, but you
Um,
you 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 gave some leniency.
Absolutely. Um, that's with all situations I give leniency because you get people that pretend that they don't know the suggested rules, even though if signs are not posted, this is a non-smoking club, or and people just tend to do what they want to do. Now, here's the thing where things get clouded, and because people can vape. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. People vape and use those hookah things.
Mm-hmm.
So they use that, and then they might try to sneak a cigarette or on top of that or what have you. But for the most part, is marijuana and tobacco-free places, but you're allowed to vape.
Oh, got you. So they tried to use that to obscure the fact that they were smoking weed or a cigarette. Like
Mm,
if you just catch the smoke out the side of your eye, you don't know if it's vape
right.
smoke and hookah smoke or they
So,
smoking a blunt.
one, you gotta use your five senses. I'll say that the the hookah smoke is different. It light is lighter, it dissipates faster, and now if you're having to smoke a cigarette or marijuana, the smoke is a little bit thicker and it lingers and stays around.
Give me an example, like when fights broke out. Like, were you supposed to de-escalate, or did you guys immediately run in to remove them to
It's,
stop it from getting worse?
it's always about de-escalation. In some instances, you happen to catch it and you de-escalate, and then other instances, hands, cups, chairs start flying.
Oh,
Then is a you know, but never going is. I was told is never go into a situation by yourself. That's why the security team is there in numbers. Um, Never going it by yourself. Trying to break stuff up. At least wait till another person is in arm reach that can help and assist you with the de-escalation or the breaking up of a fight. Now, there is situations where individuals have to be grabbed up, restrained and brought to the door because of their disorderly conduct or being overly belligerent and trying to fight, or in the presence of breaking up a fight, they are brought to the door, and then the second hand team restricts them from coming back inside.
so did you ever feel like you were being asked to do things that you probably shouldn't be doing? Like, was there ever a time where you were like,
No, no,
listen, I don't really want to do this, but you know that the cash is on the line, so you like, screw it, I'll do it.
no, no. Mm-mm. That's the thing about this team. It's pretty much all right. So I'm pretty sure in other situations, and you know, uh, uh, uh there are things that happen where people have to go above and beyond and do something extra. But for the most part, for me, I'm just going to keep it on me. No,
Uh,
there might have been a situation where a bar a bartender was like, "Oh, he disrespected me," but I'm like, did he really do that? But for the most part, he was saying the individual was saying that he didn't, and there was no one else on the line to verify. That you still have to go with the bartender side of the thing and
Got
disrespect
you.
him. I said, "Mm,
So if like the bartender's like he disrespected me or something, or this guy's too drunk, he needs to go, you're acting on that. Like, come on, buddy, it's time to
um,
go.
yes,
Oh, okay. Good,
mm-hmm,
but I guess that's what y'all are there for. So like I know you dealt with physical altercations, but like did you ever worry about like getting sued, arrested, or abandoned if
um,
something went really wrong?
n- no, because hey, I'm speaking for myself. There are other people that might go above and beyond, but I just don't see my personal self doing things that someone can get sued, or handling situations like that, being reckless or careless in those type of situations where you can get sued or become a liability. Because it's also, you got to think about it. I consider it as a job. So, you're going to be a liability for the club. You're going to be a liability for the team.
So with all of that said, it was an establishment where your team, as well as the establishment, maybe the manager or owner or whoever got you in contact, they made you feel protected, like you weren't disposable.
Oh, I didn't feel that way. I never felt that way. Not at all. Because for the most part, I was always with numbers, with people. You know, we're not talking about like a small type of. See, I don't know in the perspective of that you might think it's a small type of establishment or venue. These is actually big venues.
So, like, let's say a situation did end up needing to be physical. You tried multiple times, you tried being lenient, they kept being belligerent, they didn't want to leave. You guys went to get them out of there. You were the first contact. Sure, your boys were with you to get them out, but let's say something went crazy, a random kick, and you ended up getting hurt. Do you think that the club or would have helped you with any kind of like medical bills or anything, or you were on your own? You
Now,
you understood that you were
that's
on your
that
own.
that's a good question. And being that you said that, I'm under the impression that you're on your own with that. You know,
Got you.
I don't
Okay.
think there's any workman's comp behind that. Just if you want to say that, I don't believe that that's part of it.
What I want to say is, what would you tell like a younger guy who gets offered like 200 or
See,
250 to work a door with
but
no paperwork, no questions asked? Hey, buddy, come over here. Here's $200. Stand at this door, check their IDs.
I,
Would
I,
you suggest that they
I
do it, or is that a warning sign?
it depends on. It depends. It depends. You know, I could ask you the same question. Do you feel like you would do it yourself? And your answer might be no, because you're not in need of the money or funds. Or you might just be like, yeah, let me just go ahead and just get this easy 200 and get up out of there. You get what I'm saying?
I got you. So, given that, do you think that that's a situation where they might prey on like not saying you are, but they might prey on like somebody who's more desperate, like
Um,
they know a guy, he had a
everybody, but
security job, but he lost it. Yeah, let's get him. He needs the money.
um, I'm pretty sure they might be the first ones in line. But it is also like a vetted. I want to say a vetted situation because everybody don't get to be on a team. It's not like that. It's about your character and stuff like that. Everybody does. Everybody doesn't get to be on the team.
So I would think that you need a certain kind of mindset to do that kind of work,
Uh,
especially those establishments. You can't always be like, "Pardon me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am." You got to be like, "Hey, yo, my man, come over here."
Absolutely, absolutely. There is a mindset, and it's a way that you should go about it. It's always de-escalation first. Now, you get some people that's hands first, but those are the people that we don't need on the team. You don't need that because that brings on the liability part. And not to say that sometimes it's necessary. I'm pretty sure you're just not going to let somebody just sock you out. That's not how that goes about. How it happens. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty, but for the most part, it's always about de-escalation first.
Okay, that's good to know because people have this idea bounces in their head, maybe from movies or whatever, that one false move, you going, you throwing them in an arm bar and a real naked choke and tossing them out the, you know.
And 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 that does happen. And also, I have to say, sometimes it depends on the individual. Now, that can and it does happen. As for me, for the most part, it's about de-escalation 1st. And
That's
being
good.
that you're on the inside, things got to be handled differently. Now, of course, I've seen plenty of videos. I've been like, hey, why this team did this? Why did they go about it this way? You know?
So thanks for your time, but I'm gonna end this interview off with some questions from one of my channel members, Arthur's Age. I'm not gonna ask all of his questions because some of them aren't particularly pertinent to the establishments that you worked at, but and I think you may have answered this one, but like as far as both the gambling spot and the club that you worked at, would you say they were like small, mid-sized, or were they like big establishments?
Well, answer to the first, those that I'll say small. To the first, to the other spot, they're small. But as for the clubs and the venues, those was large, big, big spaces, large establishment. Hence, that's why you need the number of people inside, because they also hosted a lot of mainstream artists too.
Oh, okay. So you may have been in proximity to some popular maybe rappers or singers that
Absolutely.
came through there.
Yep, absolutely. Yes.
In general, and I know this is going to vary, but how were you treated like by the customers and like the clients and people around these like businesses, whether it was the gambling spot or the club? I mean, you're a big guy, so that does
the,
definitely play some part into how they're going to treat you.
for the owners, they happen to be cool people in every single establishment. I had a good rapport with all the owners
Okay.
of the said clubs menu. You know, I just because maybe because of my demeanor and how I act. You know, for the most part, I built a good rapport amongst them. Um, One of the things in some occasions you're able to get free food. That's one of the perks. And
Okay. So another question, he asked this, but I know there isn't like for these style gigs that you had, but he said how was payroll managed? But what I'm gonna do is transfer that into something that's more applicable. So where was it like a situation where they like hit you off with half at the beginning of the night and then another
no,
half at the end,
no,
or
it's always the fun, you know. I'll say this: each probably every team or every company is different, and you know, for the most part, this day and age, I never received anything in cash but the payment was always accessible the next day, the next following day. Or if it was a two-night gig in the same spot, it will be that following Monday or slash Tuesday. But it's always accessible, already accessible. And I never had issues with said payments.
okay, so you never had issues with it, but were you ever concerned that, well, this guy might screw me, at the end of the night, and then that
No,
Monday, you don't, oh, okay.
no, never, never.
So,
So I think
mhm.
that's the different. Now I heard from other individuals, but not with this particular team. There has been issues like that. You know, sometimes, uh, say club owner might be dealing with a janky promoter, and because that can happen, and let's just say sometimes payments can be delayed. No longer than 4 or 5 days. Let's just say if janky promoter ran off, because that can happen. And but the funds are usually accessible, and people are paid their dues, and for their time and performance that for a job that they provided.
Okay, so you said it's not like somebody slapping two Benjamins in your hand. Was it a situation where like, here's my Cash App, here's my Venmo, and they shoot it over there?
Yes.
Oh,
hmm
okay, okay.
I think going forward that is a new way of handling business too. You know,
So it's kind of like,
you
uh-huh.
don't have to be running nobody down. You don't have to do all that stuff like that. And
So it's like it's kind of like a new age cash in hand. They're not slipping you the bills, but they're sending you, via instant transfer.
yes,
Okay.
whether you have Zelle, Venmo, Apple Pay, Cash App, or what have you.
So this is pretty
And
uh-huh.
I think all companies like that are on board with that.
Is there anything else that you'd want to add like to anything that we've discussed or just like general advice for somebody who might be considering, like cash style bouncer work or that like a spot work like hey, come over here, watch the door.
Mm, just keep in mind that anything can happen at any time, and no biz is always a risk. Just keep in mind that things can happen, and just probably when you think things are getting too easy, just like when you're in a place, you're like, okay, I made it through the night, when now it's 15 minutes till closing. Now is easy going night. Now all of a sudden, here we go. 15 minutes till closing. Now here come the BS.
All right, Jay. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your information. And I'm sure this will be educational to people who have less of an idea about this kind of security work. And this is going to end my inaugural Guard Guides interview session. For anybody in the audience and the viewers, if you liked it, let me know down in the comments. Feel free to like or dislike, and based on that, I'll determine whether we continue doing things like that in the future. I'd like to thank my current channel members, Security Officer John, TVS Flight Design, Jojo, Argamiro Lares, Terrell Staten, and Windblend for their support. If you'd like to support the channel directly, consider becoming a member for perks like emojis, members-only videos, member shoutouts, and early access to videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Guard Guides, and be safe.